Yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Alright, so we're a couple days later, and took a couple days that I didn't really film anything because there was torrential downpour and trees getting taken down in the area from all the storms, so just kind of been working out of here. But anyway, let me catch you guys up onto what the damage is and where I'm at, and obviously the car is apart, so let's walk around and look at everything. Rear suspension, completely unscathed. It was such a slow bump. If you watch that video in slow-mo, you see I hit a like 22 mile an hour bump into the wall, so it really wasn't much, especially with the grass being so wet. Just kind of kept sliding, but it's good for me, I guess. Rear frame, no problems. Yeah, let's go look at some damage. So here's the wing mount. That's relatively back in shape, but we'll come back to that later because I'm going to wind up changing that anyway. Here is the splitter, which also relatively good shape. I've got this little bit of damage right here, which is easy to repair, so that's kind of nice. I think I'm going to change this out anyway and maybe hold on to this one as a spare. And then the real damage that's kind of causing a minor problem is here. So there's my fender liner, and this left rear quarter has seen better days. So that kind of took the brunt of the hit, and it's all just thick fiberglass. So yeah, it's repairable, but I've only got a couple weeks to do this, and I've got other stuff to repair. So I think what I'm going to do is take this opportunity to upgrade the whole rear of the car to the RSX package. The front of the car is already RSX, so I'm just going to make the whole car match now. It's a shame because I kind of like this bodywork. I like this style with the round lights and everything. It's a little more old school, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, it just seems like the better way forward is to just replace some of this stuff. You can see it's cracked all the way up here too. This whole fender has gone real flimsy from those missing parts. So again, the rest of this is like pretty good shape, but it is what it is. I pulled the wiring off of it already because I'll wind up reusing the wiring on whatever I switch to. But yeah, let's go look at some of the other damage. Yeah, let's go see. All right, so the wing, yeah, needs a bit of work. So I've already started straightening some of these pieces out and figuring out exactly what I have to do. So let's go over it. It's got these tabs. It's got these tabs that go here for the front mount on the wing. Now, this wing took a knock before I got the car, and you can see some epoxy here in this corner. This has definitely been repaired before, and you can see epoxy down in the groove. So it held no problem. I didn't really know about that repair. If you look close at the part, you can see it's got shear here and here, some decent shear marks. Now, I'm assuming by looking at this, the whole part was originally attached to the aluminum underneath. I think I can get away with probably pinning this and epoxying it back in there with the pins. Now, when you combine that with this black piece here that is just really like siliconed on to hold the wing in place, I think that's going to be strong enough. So the bolt goes through both of those. These black pieces, luckily, are available from Radical, so I can go ahead and get those for the uppers and the lowers, no problem, because they're pretty bent up. So that'll be the easy part of the repair. The harder part will be these tabs. Fortunately, I've got a really good buddy who is phenomenal at repairing stuff like this, and he's willing to help me out. So yeah, now we can see the other side. There's the cracked area. And looking down in here, you can see where it was attached, and you can see where clearly somebody else had epoxied in here already to hold these in. So I know an epoxy repair will work. We'll try and do a little better by adding some pins and whatnot to reinforce this. Here's the old black piece from this side. That was the worst off of all of them, and cut that off already. So it's repairable, which is good. So that's the worst on the lower. The upper element, unfortunately, the end plate attachments ripped out. So I'm gonna have to sort those out as well. Come on, focus. There we go. Yeah, so we'll work on that. I have them over here. There's what looks like a structural tube that goes across the whole span, and then this end plate gets bolted to this, and this bolt in the middle goes to that structural tube. All that obviously ripped out on this one side. The other side is still there, but I'm gonna have to figure a way to bond this back in place. Yeah, that's what it should look like. This is the better side, but it's repairable, so not too worried. On the lower, all of that is still intact, no problem. There was a little bit of separation, yeah, in here. On the upper, I've just got this little bit of separation. That should be easy to fix. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with the wing, which is the biggest repair project. So I'll have you guys follow along with fixing that with my buddy. So next bit of damage, I had the exhaust, which took quite a big knock. So pulled this thing apart, and actually came out pretty good. I mean, look at that, that's pretty straight. This whole end was completely popped off. It's just riveted on, so straightened it out a bit and re-riveted that. This tab was completely pushed over, so that's nice and relatively square now. And this end was severely bent in, kinked in on one side, and surprisingly, when I put a tube over it and bent it back, it seemed to just pop right back in place. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so exhaust should be good to go. Thought that would be more tricky, so I'm glad that wasn't too bad. And my tow hook got all bent up, but well, it's a tow hook, so bend that back. So that's the majority of the damage and repairs that I'll have to do. Now let's go back and look at the car again, and I'll kind of explain some of the changes that are going to happen. Oh, here we go, there's another good piece. So here's the upright. So here's my wing uprights. They took the brunt of the hit. These are just completely foobar. So I had to take them out to them to smash them back in place just to get it off of the car. So they've got to be kind of upright to slide through the bodywork. So I just hammered them over to get them off, but they were kinked over like pretty darn good. But yeah, that wouldn't be safe to use again. So that's garbage. All right, on the car, this wing mount would be roughly there on the chassis. Okay, and that would be what the uprights bolt to through the bodywork and all that. Now, the newer cars, the RSX, it's a two-piece rear clamshell. On mine, it's obviously that one piece that's damaged. On the new ones, it's two pieces. So the back bumper area with the wing uprights will bolt on to a new version of this frame. So I'll be replacing that, even though this piece is usable, to the new version. Then I'll get the engine cover, which is its own separate piece to sit from about, sits about here on the car forward. So it's all close to the same shape. The attachment points should be in the same spots, so it should work. I was told no one's done this before on the Radicals. No one's done a full RS to RSX body swap, so I guess I'll be the first. But I think it'll bolt up, but yeah, it's only one way to find out. Should be picking up those parts in about a week, so yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions on anything, or if there's anything else you want to see. I'm going to be trying to film as much as I can and throwing up progress, and yeah, hopefully it's entertaining enough. All right, guys, I'm out.